perhaps could not ask for a better matchup. The two biggest names in Southeast Asian Dota. I think we figured out who Nat has in her companion prediction with the TNC. They may or may not be in mine as well. But this, based on how Fnatic's played, the fact when these two teams last met and it was a 2-0, I mean, I guess even ignoring the draft, looking at this best of 5 as a whole, I'm curious to ask you, do you think there is a favorite coming in at all?
I would say, just based on what we saw yesterday, Fnatic is like slightly favored, maybe 55-45, simply because their decisiveness seems to be on another level than TNC. Yesterday, both games were insanely close, and Fnatic just won both games purely based on their decision-making with those buybacks and the decisiveness to reinitiate when TNC wasn't ready for it.
We'll see how things unravel here. Looking at what some of these lanes might be, there are definitely... I feel like when you see these heroes like Monkey King and Ursa, you're always looking for specific lane matchups. Already, you've got Raven kind of playing around the mid lane, trying to figure out, does he go top, does he go bottom? Where is he going to get the Tide Hunter matchup?
Yeah,
playing
definitely want to get the right
steal a bounty rune. As the Impale, he's going to snipe it. Boomy with the aggressive ward on that hill, helping him out. 2 runes apiece.
Yep. Jabs with the quick fingers there, otherwise could have been 3 for TNC. But yeah, this top lane is very interesting, as I said. Like, you know it's going to be a 4 Wyvern, and I feel like a 4 Wyvern is actually pretty damn good against Ursa. You have 2 slows, and a potential save also for your Legion commander. And especially in China, we have seen this answer a lot. Every time there was an LC, they picked Ursa. But Ursa lost the lane every single time. It was just come mid-game where the Ursa had like the power spike with the diffuser blade, where he made LC feel very uncomfortable. But the lane was not won by Ursa a single time.
Feels like there's going to be a lot of harass coming out because it's Splinter Blast and level 1 overwhelming odds with a Bacillus Ring on the Wyvern. Yep. This is a very different approach to the offlane, just going for this double nuke spam. And that's going to constantly harass this Ursa.
Yeah, which also will lead to LC, I think, just free farming here because, as you said, you can't really contest the Ursa. Once there's Arctic Burn online, you just won't be able to reach anyone.
See if TNC have a response to that, if they find any ways to make any kind of aggressive plays or get on top of the Wyvern. Looking at some of our other lanes, mid lane TA versus DK, do you think any edge going either way or just a bit of a farm battle?
It's a farm battle, if anything. Usually it's the DK that starts pressuring more once he's level 6. Because he doesn't really care too much about the TA right clicks. And once the Dragon Form is up, the refraction doesn't really matter anymore either. I think the biggest action lane is going to be probably bottom.
There was almost an arrow then that if that had landed on Raven before his salve, that could have actually been a potential kill. They have gone for that early point in Gush, but First Blood, it's not bottom, it's top. Gabby, they find the kill onto Death, who perhaps overplays his hand. And Boomy and Gabby team up to get that kill early on. Do they have a salve? Doesn't look like it, so they're going to have to bring one out as well as use the Tengos they've got. Yeah,
they misplayed this lane a little bit. Like, as you said, they went for a spam lane, but they actually started to just fight them head on, which is exactly what TNC want. Like, they don't want to get spammed out of the lane, they just want to fight them. That's what they did, leading to Ursa getting a first blood here.
Yeah, because they don't have the same kind of health regen. They're playing with this Bassy Ring, and they don't have the stats from branches.
Yeah.
TNC find a way to punish it. We'll see if that's how much of a difference that's going to make up here. It was Ursa who got the kill as well, so that's going to allow him to get a much faster phase boost with that bonus gold.
Yeah, and Chayon actually opting to not go for a bottle, which we usually see against matchups like TA, simply because you're going to get harassed a lot. He's already sitting at half health, and this refraction Psyblade damage is really starting to stack up on him. Has to be careful.
Maybe this is just his DK build, because it's the second time I've seen him play this DK mid, and last time he also went for this Bracer Soul Ring build.
Yeah, it just might backfire a little bit in this high Harris lane here.
You see Armel, whenever he can, just throwing out those meld strikes.
A lot of damage. Yeah. You can also see Armel, he does have the bottle, so he should win that region war.
Yes.
The only problem I have with Soul Ring is, every time you use it, you're also sacrificing 150 health. When you're already low on health, it's not the greatest investment. We'll see how it goes. He's regening back up.
He's leveling up Dragon Blood. I think that's how you make up for it. You go for that 3rd point in Dragon Blood. At that point, you've got 9 armor and 12 health regen. I imagine he's going to be okay unless the support rotates. I say that, he's getting pushed so low. Armel just bullying him here, and he's going to zone him away from this top water rune, forces Xuan to go back to the bottom one. And Mirana is there with a leap. I believe Mirana is going to be able to pick that one up, so no rune for the DK. It's just a water rune. He doesn't have a bottle, so it wasn't a bottle refill. Arrow comes flying in. It's nicely dodged.
Yeah. Ursa fell down to 200 HP as well, getting salved up by his support. He went Mask of, or rather Morbid Mask first, just to sustain himself a little bit better in this lane, but it's not really a whole lot of sustain, because you can't really get Fury Swipe stacks up on anyone to be able to make good use of the life leech.
Mid lane, meanwhile, they're diving on Xuan underneath the tower here. Tim's backing up Armel, but the jab's TP will be enough to deter any chase, but that exposes perhaps this top lane. Death has to be careful now. He's got raindrops so he should be tanky enough to sustain himself, and it doesn't look like they're going to go for any kind of an aggressive play.
This is very good though for the side of TNC, because Gabby now can life reach back to 4 with his Morbid Mask without a Wyvern there to harass him. No problem. Getting stunned up on Death, but
yeah,
a little bit too speedy. Do you like the scaling on overwhelming odds? Do you think it should give the same bonus movement speed every level? I think it should scale also.
I mean, I'm not a big Legion player, so.
I'm
not going to advocate for any. Yeah, I'm not advocating for any Legion buffs. If that's what you're asking.
No nerfs, if anything. I hate playing against that hero.
Yeah, the fact, the level 1 gives you so much escape potential.
Yeah, DK level 6 now, middle. So Armel is gonna feel the pain a little bit from that poison breath.
Yeah. Just break through that refraction a bit easy. But TA already level 6, can easily fall back to the jungle. Gloves, Wraithband, and a Blightstone. I said, will be a jump in down bottom. Raven immediately gets jumped on. There will be a Boundless Strike fall, but it's top lane where Death actually goes down, so a lot of fighting happening both top and bottom. They go for the return kill, they're going to get
Jabs,
it.
no boots!
As the Splinter Blast finishes them off. And Jabs, yeah, he's just dying to Gabby. One more right click, can he juke him in the trees? He shouldn't be able to do so. It's going to be a double kill up top for Gabby. Absolutely fantastic start for this Ursa.
Yeah, who already has the Diffuser Blade queued up as well. I liked it a lot. You don't want to go for any sort of greedy item build when you have a TA in your team already. You really just want to bring the pace to them.
Having those raindrops early. He's already chewed through 3 charges, but it's just allowed him to destroy this top lane.
Yeah, I mean, raindrops is a super value item. Any pub player that doesn't buy it, you're making a big mistake. It's cheap, gives super good mana regen, and can win you a lane, as we have seen just now.
Well, we'll see. TNC look to also fall back, set up some stacks. AA did make a nice rotation into this dire Ancient area to block the Ancients, but it does get dewarded, so good job by TNC to find immediately. Yeah, I didn't actually. I guess they realized AA made that move because I don't think they'd actually scout out. They've got so many stacks. You've got Lion also stacking up top in the jungle.
Yeah, and the big problem is they have no stack clearer on Radiant at all. That's the only thing their draft really lacks, because they can't make good use of the Ancients. Like, who's gonna farm them? Even Monkey King can't really farm them efficiently.
Do you think there's going to be pressure on Fnatic to take some team fights once they get their kind of key early game items and if they can't keep up and farm?
Yeah, I think so. You can already see a 1k gold advantage purely off farm. TA is starting to take these Ancient stacks right at minute 7 also, so they're getting all these juicy neutral items.
Yeah, the TA net worth is most of the difference. 1,000 gold ahead of the Dragon Knight with the obviously superior farming ability. That is every TA game. You know, I guess obviously teams are letting TA go through, and it's not like TA is being picked every game. There is a fall-off point for TA. Is that correct? Do you feel, or why is what's the answer to TA when you're just giving her this much farm?
So the thing is, why TA is so prioritized right now in a lot of regions is because with this new Dragonlance build, you actually scale very well into the late game. You itemize more into a hard carry. Like, a lot of TAs don't even go for this Blink Dagger anymore. They just go for more damage items, which means in the late game you're a much bigger threat than you were previously.
Okay. Yeah, has the Dragonlance queued up. Dragonlance stats, I could imagine. Then you always feels like they're hoping for that Grove Bow.
Yeah, and then suddenly you have that 900 range. Yeah. Kind of crazy.
The Quiver seems to be the crazy good one, because that Quiver Meld Strike hit from insane range is just ridiculous.
Especially if you have like a Daedalus or just a mini crit even can just melt supports. This Ursa is also very farmed. He is already up one Blade of Alacrity. Once he finishes the Fusel, at this rate, should be like minute 12 or so. It's gonna be very big. Chayo on top, but Tidehunter already TP'd. They wanna set up with the Ravage here.
They're coming around from behind. Death's going to be careful. The Ravage is going to lead things off. It's going to zone out the DK, who does get clipped by the edge of it. They try and kill off Death first with the Impale. Boomy's chasing for more. Has a Hex. But Fnatic do a good job to cut their losses. Still a good rotation from TNC. Defend their tower. They get a kill. But it is just one kill.
Yeah, they were not ready for that. Like, they thought they could just pressure the tower with the DK. But it was a pre-rotation before the DK even really arrived from Bok. And landing a pretty decent Ravage there. But now the mid tower under little pressure. Half health
They
already.
don't want to let this tower mid take too much damage. There are some TA traps on the sides, and Lion trying to maybe set up, but
Yeah, look at that
backup to get this kill.
TA trap network. I hate that. When you get trapped once, you walk into another trap, and then another trap.
From slow, yeah.
And the damage too is actually pretty significant. 250, level 1. Oh, I didn't know it's that much.
Ice Room bot gets stolen by the DK. Armel hoping to refill his bottle, and DK just denying it. Isn't going to be able to make any plays with this. It does feel like the Fnatic game plan was, let's pick all these series that TA is going to struggle to kill, but at the same time, their early game has really suffered because of it.
Yeah, I mean, look at Tidehunter's net worth compared to Monkey. The plan is to shut him down out of the lane completely, but they're the same net worth. So bot lane didn't even win at all.
We come top though. Moonlight Shadow in. James is coming from behind. What's he going to find here? Walked into a Sentry Ward, so they did see him.
Arrow on the catapult.
Harrows the Siege Creep. He gets Winter's Curse. They're going to look to set up. He manages to leap away before any kind of a duel. I don't think they had the damage, though.
I don't think so either, and they just seem to be getting outmoved here around the map. No real chance to set up anything. DK Dragon Form back online in 3, and they just want to pressure this mid tower. Ravage back up in 40.
But without
You can
that,
see they're very timid.
Yeah, this is a Siege Wagon, and they didn't want to pressure this mid T1 tower. The Arrow's just going to clear it out. This is another, obviously a big part of why Mirana, maybe not a big part, but one part why Mirana is popular. Instantly killing Siege Creeps, keeping these towers alive.
Yeah. And look at Ursa. Just one robe of the Magi away from this Diffusal Blade. That's a massive power spike for Ursa. Like, after that, you're just looking for 1-2 kills potentially and going to the Roche Pit. You can even force Roshan, I think, with his Ravage. Fnatic should not be able to teamfight into you.
You kind of mentioned the Cold Embrace earlier, but if you're saving someone, they're just going to have their entire mana pool get burned by a Diffusal Blade.
Yeah. I did not expect TNC to be able to mount such a lead this early on.
Ice Blast will scat up Umi in the trees. He's going to get taken out. He thought he was in a good spot there. They
Would have been,
sniff him
but
out.
Monkey King is the king of trees. Wow, look at Jayon. He took so much damage from the Psy Blades. Half health already. That's a good thing about TA. Also, like the spill range of the Psy Blades with this Dragonlance build is almost full screen. Like, you don't know how many couriers I lost to this. Just, you don't expect it at all. What's his attack range
Bottom
already?
lane. Are they making a plan to Gabby here? 1 TP. They've got 2 heroes, a third coming. They're going to set up with the curse. They're going to go for the Wukongs. They want to bring down Gabby. He's got the Enrage. He's not getting a chance to get off, and the dual follow-up is there. They take out Gabby. Smart move from Fnatic.
Yeah. Perhaps a bit careless by Gabby here, because they didn't show on any other lane. Fnatic did. And he pays the price for his greed, but he has the Diffusal Blade finished. And they expended quite a bit of ultimates. So maybe they're just going into the Roche Pit with that Ravage now.
Okay. See if that's the play. TA getting close to Deso. Maybe they don't need the Deso because it's Ursa TA.
Who's gonna carry the Aegis then, though? Like, they both want it.
True. I would lean towards Ursa myself, just because it feels like that's the hero that can really run into the middle of things and even allow the TA to do more damage by just soaking up spells.
Yeah. Ursa TPing straight middle. Are they looking to go into the Roche Pit or find a kill?
They're definitely looking to do something. They're grouping up with basically their entire team here. The TA may not smoke with them.
Well,
to go for that.
I guess gonna smoke or no? They've been standing here for quite long. And they go.
Not
straight into the
indecisive,
pit,
but a little bit slow. Yeah.
15 seconds should be more than enough.
Meanwhile, they go on the high ground. Fnatic smoke themselves, run into it. It's a Blink Ravage onto 3. It catches up the entire Fnatic team. Jabs is going to keep himself alive with a cold embrace, but believe the follow-up damage should be there with the Starstorm to finish him off. Bok once more. Have they got the detection that Invis is going to wear off? And Chuan in some trouble here. Is Blink being cancelled? Gabby is shredding through them with the overpower. He gets Winter's Curse, but that's not going to be enough to save the DK. The Ice Blast is going to come flying through after the buyback from the Wyvern. It's going to be a dieback. And they want more. Death does not have a Blink Dagger. He may be in trouble. He dodges the arrow. Okay, that'll keep him alive. Potential Roche now.
This is a free Roche now. They know there's no Wyvern for 50. And they just don't really have teamfight ultimates to fight around this pit.
Arrow to make sure of it, and Fnatic just know they're just giving this up.
Yeah. Fnatic really need to play for these mid-game timings this time around. Like, Monkey King needs a lot more farm to be effective. What does Dragonair have? He finished his Blink Dagger, but honestly, his farm is very comparable to an offlane DK. It doesn't really feel like a mid DK this game.
And even just the idea of going for Tread's Blink, it's kind of more that utility offlaner build.
Yeah, which is kind of what I critiqued when they picked this Legion Commander. It's not really what you want from a mid laner, but they were kind of forced into it with the draft they had. And with losing this early game, it's going to be tough for them to come back, because we said they don't have any flash farmers. All of their farmers are pretty slow.
Well, this is the way when we saw this draft, at least, we were hoping and expecting TNC to play. They've been playing much more for the late game with the TBs and Medusas and whatnot, mostly the TB, but this game around with an Ursa TA draft against a lineup that potentially has tools for deal with the TA later in the game, they wanted to snowball, and so far they're doing just that.
Yeah. And TA, of course, level 25, she's an absolute monster with this new talent, the 8 Reflection instances. You just have 14 instances where you just take 0 damage, and that's on a 17 seconds cooldown.
Mid gets blinked on with the Dragon Tail, the Ice Blast follow up, the Boundless Strike and the Jewel. Having the Jewel against the Tidehunter working out well there. Just to cover the retreat perhaps, because here come TNC. Gabby on the side is wanting to try find a way into this one. Jabs was looking for a Winter's Curse, but didn't manage to get Boomy next to the Ursa. Fnatic will back off for now, but they commit a couple of ultimates.
They got a Tide kill, but he didn't really have Ravage. Once he's up, he's gonna have it again. But they couldn't convert into a tower, unfortunately. Mirana ult popped? What are they looking for here? Nothing? Okay. Why not? Just pop it.
Maybe just, yeah, I don't know, bypass wards. I'm not. Here we go. Maybe the aggression of mid is what they're looking for. Yeah, he's just diving. He's got that Aegis, so he can just go running in and finds the Jabs Wyvern, who is not even going to go for a cold embrace. I think he just knows he's dead, so he's like, I'm not even going to bother delaying this.
Yeah, wants to respawn a little bit sooner. And it should just be a free mid tower with the Desolator. Very quick push. And they haven't even gotten the top tower yet, I just realized. Top is still up, mid is still up. Is DK going to be able to take it down? Doesn't even look like it. No, Tide's just TPing there.
Radiant Glyph to keep the tower alive a bit longer. Also pinging Tim's Mirana, maybe thinking they could make a play on him, but not going to be the case. And they're also defending top, so TNC keep their top tier 1 alive. They are getting further and further ahead, taking over more and more of this map.
Yeah, the map control right now is absurd. They already have most of the tier 1 towers down, only the top one remaining. They might be looking to converge here.
And Mirana finishing a Spirit Vessel. That's going to be very helpful against some of these heals. It can be purged off by the press the attack, but still a nice.
It's okay, he has to be careful.
Okay, he's got the Aegis, but they may just try and kill him twice. The Tide is in the neighborhood with a Blink Rabbit. He's going to wait for the respawn. What's the play here from Bok? I believe they know he's here. Abby is going to be let free. I think they were positioning. They saw the Tide, so they backed off. But now it's going to be a blink in onto Boomy's Lion. Juan looking for the kill there. The Monkey King jumps in, so Lion will not see any friends help him out. Bit of a misplay perhaps there from TNC, not expecting Fnatic to have a ward and to have vision on them.
They have triple blink now online though on TNC, so any target they jump on will get obliterated. Ursa, Tide, and TA all went for blinks.
Here come Fnatic though. They won't get a chance to use these blinks if they're the ones getting jumped. There's another duel potentially on the Bok, but he gets the Ravage off before! Oh! Okay, no, but it's still Ravage down.
Yeah, it was good.
It's still good for Fnatic, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That
means
that's almost better.
Finally gone. And this all started because Gabby, we have seen this in the past where TNC just makes these sort of random moves. Why was he there in the left tree line? Like, there was no reason to be there, and they get punished for it quite badly. Sure, they don't lose a ton of net worth, but now Ravage is down, which could lead to a very bad team fight.
It's kind of similar happened bottom where he died too, but I would say Gabby, he reminds me a lot of someone who, you know, just won a major, Ame, where you get the really good with the occasional bad. He wants to push his hero to the limits and be maybe that little bit greedier, and sometimes, you know, he's going to get picked off like that, but he also, more often than not, is carrying and winning his team some crazy games.
Yep, fair enough. I mean, still there.
Stop flaming my boy Gabby Black, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, we're done flaming Gabby.
I'm not blaming him, I'm just doing my...
I know you're not flaming.
Amazing job as a caster. But yeah, still 7k lead. They're like in an amazing position. What is Monkey King's next item? He's looking for a BKB, but still very far away from it. Legion Commander, Halberd first. Okay, so not going for any sort of initiation, leaving it out to the DK.
Good item, of course, against Ursa as well as TA for the most part.
Yeah. Smoke up again. No Ravage though this time.
They're trying to catch Fnatic out on the top side of the map, but Fnatic have already left to play around this mid part. Both teams just kind of dancing around each other.
DJ has to be careful, you could get one in here, but it's TA. Ooh. Oh, 2 hits.
Yeah.
But the first hit was without melt, so that doesn't count.
Yeah, that's I didn't look like he melded, so it literally would have been a one-shot with meld.
Oh, he has an Imp Claw too, of course, why not? The best TA item.
Yeah, better than Grokbo, you think?
I would say so, yeah. With the new talent and the Dragon Lance. You can't quite outrange towers, but your damage is insane with that one crit.
Alright, well, TNC. We'll see how much they want to try and force fights and make plays on the other side of the map. It looks like they're just waiting for Ravage, because that's up in 10 seconds. Yeah, with the Ravage coming back up, they are looking for a fight. Jabs is down here in a bit of a tricky spot. He's got the Philosopher's Stone to get him some gold towards his Blink Dagger, and he's just trying to farm it, but they get punished. So they have a scan. Oh, Radiant scan. He knows what's coming. The TA trap will scout him out. Jabs is like, uh-oh.
The arrow scouts him out too?
They know I'm here.
Oh,
he's
Boomy like, also with the Blink Dagger. It's the fourth one.
As soon as he scanned, he maybe should have just gone for a TP out, because the TA trap and arrow.
As soon as he scanned, you saw him like fly left and right. He's like, oh.
Yeah.
Couldn't do anything, unfortunately.
This is what you usually see when a team gets that early lead. They take the bottom offlane tier 2 tower, and then they claim the outpost. And now they can wait for that. That second Roche is a lot more impactful than the first, because it has those extra items, the cheese as well as the Ag Shot.
Yeah, when is that up? It may respawn in 1 minute, so 4 minutes max. Yeah. I'm a little bit concerned for the damage output, perhaps. Like Blink, Dragon Knight, DK, Halberd, LC. DK also going into a Halberd. It's only really the Monkey King that's itemizing into any sort of damage. Sure, you have AA, who kind of makes up for that, but against this tier Refraction and Ursa and Rage, it might not be enough.
Feels like DJ cannot afford to get picked off, or they're going to have complete lack of damage.
Yeah, he is so important for the team fight. Like these Ice Vortexes and the Ice Blast is so important for them.
Oh. Fnatic playing around their side of the map while they give up this bottom part with the outpost. So if this game slows down a bit, TNC will continue to get an experience lead with the outpost advantage. I think Fnatic may be looking to have something to say about that soon. They've got a smoke and they're grouped up around mid, so we'll see if they make another aggressive maneuver. Do you think they need to kind of go out and try to look for that dual initiation kill again, or are they just waiting for TNC to slip up?
I think Fnatic should be quite comfortable going into this mid late game with the draft they've picked for themselves, because they should be scaling better with this winter into the late game, because they have better ways of mitigating the damage that TNC have. But at the pace it's going right now, the second Roche could be all TNC need to put the nail to the coffin.
How much emphasis are Fnatic going to put on contesting it?
It's going to be so hard to contest that into the Ravage. How many BKBs do they have up now? Only one, right? No, Monkey actually has his, so depending on the initiation, it's very possible. This ring with the Maelstrom can deal a ton of damage.
They come Black. They get the ward on the high ground. That allows them to get the Blink Dragon Tail off on this Mirana, who gets Boundless Strike, which is going to set up the Ice Blast. Tim's just trying to use as many spells as he can before he goes down. One more right click, the Ice Blast damage should tick over Brings him
DK is
down,
melting
Chuan
though.
getting very low. Yeah, he gets helped up by the Cold Embrace, still has the BKB. Fnatic not looking to commit too hard on this one. They've still got that high ground wall. They're going to buy back the Mirana. Ursa, meanwhile, gets the A on the backlines. The Ravage comes out. It only catches Death because the other two were BKB. Now the Wukong's command comes in. Bok is just melting on this tide. Raven goes down inside, even with the bonus armor. There's just too much damage. The chase is on. Gabby with his diffusal wants Chuan, who is going to go for the TP out, but the Earth Spike is there. Boomy's chasing with the Hex. He's going to get Death as well. Boomy, what a player. He cancels one TP with the Earth Spike and then just runs for the next, which he cancels with the Hex, forcing a team wipe.
Yeah, it was a pretty rough Ravage actually, because they both managed to activate BKB before it hit. But it was enough to shut down the supports on the backline for Ursa to pick them off. And that's what we spoke about, this Monkey TA matchup. He didn't manage to pull out the ring fast enough, the Melt Strike hits, and he just gets destroyed by Armel.
Well, Armel has well and truly hit that scary TA timing. That -3 bonus meld armor reduction, and you're going to take a tier 2 mid and probably just head right to the Roche pit. They've got the trap there. Fnatic will be alive for this one if they can move quickly.
They have no ring though. No ring means no Roche fight, unfortunately.
Yeah, okay. And also this Roche just dies way too freaking fast. Who's getting what? Ag shot on Ursa.
Yeah. With that Enrage after Earthshock. It's a very good talent, especially against heroes like Winter Wyvern, where you jump on them and they can't really curse you because of that status resistance that you get.
There's a few stuns. The Dragon Tail is all another one where if he has that Enrage up for it, it's going to heavily reduce it. TNC just charged down bottom. Chuan's DK has to be careful about not showing himself here. If he breathes fire, that could be the death fin, but he's going to see the Mirana and just blink away. Oh, they know where he is! The arrow! He BKBs TPs. Wow, Tims. Maybe he caught a glimpse of him through the fog. I didn't see the dire vision, so I'm guessing maybe he caught a glimpse, but that was...
Can you see the blink particles through the fog?
You're the more recent pro player here, Black.
Yeah, but I have not seen that before. Is there like a little tree? Maybe.
Yeah.
Must have been.
It just wasn't hidden and fully tucked into fog.
Well, you know, if it was CSGO, there would be a lot of VAC right now in Twitch. Oh, good curse! But again, we talked about it.
Abby just goes charging in, wanting to get Raven, who's going to go for the TP out. There's no Basher yet. Ooh, barely makes it. Jabs gets the TP out himself as Boomy goes fishing with an Earth Spike and doesn't find it this time around.
Yeah, we saw the interaction right away. Earthshock got cursed right after the Earthshock, and it only lasts for like 2 seconds or so.
And they instantly are going to be smoking down towards this bottom lane. There was a couple of Radiant wards that... I don't know if they got spotted, but I believe TNC, they find that Fnatic's kind of expecting this one and hiding.
Yeah, they definitely saw that because they have 2 pretty deep observer wards right next to each other. But what can they do to stop them is the real question. No BKB on Monkey.
They're just hiding on the high ground. Monkey is just running. He figures if they're smoking top, they're not going to stay top. Oh, blink in, Ravage. They just delete Death on the Legion. Now DJ's getting jumped as well. He does get Cold Embrace to keep him alive a little longer, but surely he's going to die after it with the Earth Spike help.
Yeah. DJ got clipped also by the Ravage. And no buyback on Death, and Raven doesn't even have a TP. It might just be one side.
Seconds. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of that point where it's a 15k gold lead and a high ground siege with a TA Deso. Even if Monkey was here, I'm not sure there's a whole lot they could do.
Yeah, especially not without his BKB.
This they will lose at least the TA.
Yes, TAs. I mean, this is why teams just second pick it. It is such a strong win condition every time. And we said it, with the new item build, the new talents, you scale so well into the late game. Even level 30, you get a free bash as well.
They will back off after getting the tower. TNC, you know,
no rush.
Probably feeling, this getting a melee, even if they force that melee Rex and get it without dying, it doesn't maybe change the game. I feel like you go back maybe a couple of years, getting a Rex, it used to be all that, you're willing to die to get a lane of Rex. Nowadays, if you feed your whole team to get a lane of Rex, that's a really bad thing.
Yeah, and now Fnatic trying to smoke. Oh, they need to make something happen here. They see the TA!
That is Nature's TA though. That's not the target you want to go on. He gets forced out the way, is back to safety. The arrow going to quit the DK as well. The chase is on now. Bok just blinks in for the anchor smash. The Quintus curse on the TA doesn't catch anyone except the Mirana, so Armel's going to be just fine as the Ursa goes charging into the BKB. Death gets cold embrace, but that may just delay the inevitable here as he will not be focused. So Gabby's found a new target. The arrow catches the Legion. The Wukong's command plays perfectly here though, doing a lot, but instead they go for the Monkey King who dies inside his own Wukong with a duel. It's going to be a loss as DK the new target. TNC just with too much firepower. They chuck out their Finger of Death to help bring down the Dragon Knight. Alright, here we go to the high ground. TNC. They are merciless as they just launch their bodies at the Fnatic base. We could be in for, you know, this feels like what used to be a normal game of Dota before these SEA qualifiers. Okay, we have a good early game. We get Roshan, we snowball, we win the game with second Roshan at 30 minutes. This is the Dota I knew before coming in these qualifiers. And this is the first game of Dota that we've seen that actually went that way, Black.
Yeah, TNC is very bloodthirsty after these games against Boom. You can see the draft adjustments, the gameplay adjustments, outscale them early, transition to a strong mid game, and don't give them any time to breathe with their lineup. And now it's 23k. They don't need to go for mega creeps. Well, they can't anyway because there's a tier 2 top. But they kind of sniffed it out too. You know, everyone from Fnatic was alive. They smelled out the desperation smoke. They initiate on the TA, the worst target to go on, unfortunately, because of that Aegis. And they just lose the fight. Was it 5-0? 4-0? Something really bad for them, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Re-smoke right away, Ravage is up.
Yep, they're ready to go. Blink in with the Hex, they're going on Chuan. The arrow follow-up is there. Gets forced out the way. The Blink Ravage going to catch out on 3. Gabby looking for a 4th. They just bought the A, who does it buyback. Not bad for Fnatic if they can keep the DK alive. Gonna throw out the Wukong's command. Can they get this arm LTA? He's got BKB, needs to find a way to pop it. He gets the Hurricane Pike to push him out of the Wukong's command, and Chuan sitting inside his buddy's Wukong. Using that for some protection here. Meanwhile, the Hex on the Death, followed by an Earth Spike. Gets him low. Chuan blinks away just in time, but it's the AA dying back as Gabby dives the fountain with the BKB. He can't get the Mega Creep still, but they're happy to just go for these hero kills.
Yep, I think now it's time to retreat. You used everything you have.
Yeah. This, you know, remember TNC 2 or 3 years ago? This was their playstyle, and every now and then they would get these huge leads and dive a fountain and things would go south for them, Black.
Yeah. I mean, over the years, all these players have come a long way, just in terms of discipline and knowing how to close out a game. As you previously said, there's a reason both these teams are here, and that's just because they're the most stable in these late game scenarios. Which we're not even in yet. We're in this mid game, and they're so disciplined. I'm sure Mushi also plays a big part in that. He's also one of the most disciplined coaches / players out there, so... It's a good fit on paper, right? Mushi for TNC. Because I feel like he would take care of their weaknesses quite a bit. Yeah. TA, 1k away from Daedalus, and there's just so many strong items coming out. Ursa just finished his Aghanim, so even if you stun him before the enrage, you can just enrage out of it now. It's looking pretty grim for Fnatic in game 1. I think this kind of draft, you have to be very careful with picking something like this, because we said they have no scaling ability, right? No one can farm Ancients. They're purely picking to win the lane. Unfortunately, they lost top and middle quite badly, and bottom they didn't really win, even though they counter-picked it. Which just leads to this insurmountable lead coming to the mid-game for TNC.
Yeah, and Monkey, a hero that has just disappeared from the meta. When it was that top, you know, first 2-pick hero, you didn't mind if you didn't get a great lane matchup, but you're picking Monkey for the lane, and TNC just kind of shrugged that one off.
Yeah, they were like, whatever.
Out of that. Yeah.
Crazy. Okay, they're
Tim's
going
had a
for...
great game. His Mirana helping.
He always does have his Mirana, it feels like.
Yeah.
You know when we critique teams for picking Mirana? His Mirana always somehow hits arrows. Like even without stuns, with stuns, they just don't miss. Yeah. Like heat seeking.
Him and Boomy. I mean, I kind of said the story of this series, you know, TNC maybe with the best core duo in Southeast Asia, while Fnatic have the best support duo. The TNC support duo, they're the ones who are making the big plays this game. Boomy and Tim's have been huge.
This is the last smoke out here from Fnatic. They want to make something happen. Who can they catch?
He knows it's maybe coming. He pops a sentry ward. He's going to pop up from the high ground. But Tim's actually, okay, has the first leap, second leap. He gets back to safety, and Fnatic have been revealed. Meanwhile, Boomy also positioned perfectly for this one.
Yeah, he's running in
so well. Yeah, he's not afraid. He just goes in with a BKB, gets DJ, the TP out from Juan's DK. They don't have a basher, so he'll get out.
Oh, it was close on the Wyvern there.
And it's, you know, I like that from Ursa. He could have prioritized the basher. That's like the second or third time someone's BKB TP out in front of him, but he just knows there's a better, safer item to get, and you can always get that basher later.
Yeah, and also you don't really need to kill them. If they don't leave base, they farm 0. Look at the gold lead just growing. Roshan up in, what, 2 seconds? That's the third one. What will it have? Oh, the refresher for the Tide Hunter couldn't be any better for them. Oh, Raven is forced to BKB.
I don't know if that was maybe even a misclick as well. Was just jumping up into the trees and popped it with Armel in the neighborhood. As here we go, third Roshan. Going to be the TNC pickup, as after this, you got to imagine they'll just go top for those mega creeps. Force a fight, they smoke up and everything as one needs to get a refresh. There we go.
Ursa picked up the refresher. I feel like, isn't Tide the best? Oh, he has a refresher up himself. Never mind.
Okay. Not a problem though. He actually leveled up the 3rd point in Ravage. Sometimes you see
you gotta do the
2 points
Tinker
in
move.
Ravage.
Can't forget the Soul Ring before you refresh.
Full Soul Ring.
Yeah.
He's got Mango.
Gabby's just running up with the spider legs. Arrow hit. What is DK?
Not the ideal target. Box in the front line. They know there's a double Ravage here, and oh, DJ. Gabby just jumps in looking for him with the Earthshock. The Halberd just immediately gets basically negated
dead.
as he takes out the Wyvern. Gabby is just wreaking havoc here. Did give me his BKB. Gabby just blinks away. I think the call is, you know, play it safe.
Might be a reset point, yeah.
Fight your instincts, Gabby. We're not diving here. We're going for the mega creeps. Let's reset. As the DK in the front lines. Can't do much about this TA with the long range sieging.
Though, mind you. So there's another BKB available.
Blink, Ravage, they've got a second, but he doesn't have the money. He does now, just barely enough. And with Gabby on the backlines, they take out the DK. They want the Legion next. The Hex is there as well. Winter's Curse comes out just on the Tide. That's going to trap the TA as well, setting up a nice move on command. Can Raven carry this fight? The damage is not going to be enough initially to bring down the Tide. Instead, it's his teammate going down, and Armel with an Aegis, happy just to stand in there. Gabby's now jumping into the ring as well. They just don't care about this ring. They've got Cheese, they've got Aegis, and they'll take out the Monkey and force a GG. TNC, they strike first.
What a bloodthirsty gameplay here by TNC. I love their draft, I love their execution. Can't really fault anything. They were a little bit overexcited here and there, where they made like a little mistake, like losing that Aegis top lane, but any big error, I didn't see no big error at all.